Howdy, howdy, everyone. Oh, good. The camera's broken. Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How y'all doing? Today, we're going to be working on a few more NPCs that we have in mind. And here, you have, as you can see here, I've been working on some art here lately. We have this little snail dude. His clothes are placeholder. We have we have some rocks here. I've been practicing some rocks, and this little mushroom is the start of the mushroom area for those that have been watching the streams and know about it. You can't see. Oh, you see my OBS screen. Whoops. Let me flip that around then. There we go. Yay! Alright. So there's that. So, as you see here, we have some rocks that I've been practicing. We have we have this little snail dude. Now I'm thinking, like I was drawing these on the Discord last night, and while I was looking around for fantasy mushroom stuff to get references, I seen a little snail that was standing up. I was like, that's really cool, and I drew an NPC out of it, and I don't know what we're gonna do with him yet, so we can talk about him today if y'all want. You like the shroom? The shroom is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I want to change a few things, but we'll get to that. That's not important right now. Probably tweak it here in a bit because somehow I got some random pixels here that I have no idea where they came from. Oops. So let me just get rid of those right quick. No? Okay, well. So yeah. There's that. Today we're going to be working on the also now I've been practicing a bit of music and stuff. These I don't have like I don't draw these to a specific size or anything. These are placeable. So if I run the game right quick, I actually have the rocks, not the mushroom tree, but I have the rocks actually built into the game already, to where I can place them, and they're not grid based. And I'll show that. It's just 1 second. So if I put that right there, and I pull this up. 200 viewers, and we just started, which is crazy. Like it was what, like 100 something. We didn't even start yet. But if I go here, as you can see, I can move these around without being on the grid and everything. And if I go here, I can place these. The idea being that I place them on the grid, and they use the chunk system. So whenever you're far enough away, they unload themselves. So it shouldn't be a resource drain. We'll have to see about that. How about player map editing for levels and stuff? That will be in the full release. It's expected to be in the full release. You'll be able to, like, this tool will be packaged with it. You'll build your own dungeons and stuff, and then you'll upload them to like Steam Workshop or something like that. All right, so we are going to get started on the forest. Oh, and I want to show you as well, for those that are new. I don't think I pulled this up. A snailman. We have to figure out what we want to do with him, because he is something, that's for sure. So I'm gonna pull up the other, because another thing I've done is I've gathered up all our NPCs so far into a single file, so that we can just sort of have for references and drawing with and that kind of thing. And let me pull that up right quick, because that's what we'll be drawing in today. Here. Is that no, that's not everyone. Where's everyone? Here. There we go. So I also retouched up some stuff. I did the necromancer here. We've touched him up a bit. The best friend, worked more on her clothing and stuff. This head is a bit small. I think I'm gonna make their heads bigger for some of them, because you can see there's a wide variety of different heads. And then the guard here. Now this is another NPC we're gonna be working on today. We talked about this guy right here. He is the guard that's going to protect the village or the town and stuff. And he is the more serious type, where his guard buddy is going to be more like laid back, not take the job seriously kind of thing. So that's the other character we'll try to get around to today. Just trying to instantly invest it. There you go. Snailman is pretty cool. I like the art style. Thank you. Now, something to note is that up until now, I've not really invested that much into the art. Let me grab this snail guy as well. The art has just been sort of to get the devlogs looking pretty enough. Here in the next few months, that's what we're going to be leaning heavily into. So you're going to see a lot more art, a lot more polish, because I've got the features that I want, I think, for the demo. I'm going to start building the demo out, getting it playable, getting it tested, and then we're going to start polishing. So you're going to see this game get really pretty, I think. Now, another thing of note, because I've gotten this a few times, is people wanting to, they say the game looks like, it doesn't look juicy. And that's not really the goal for this game. I want it to kind of look like a SNES game. I don't want it to be too modern. So I wouldn't expect too much polish in that regard. Just to sort of lay that out. So we'll go ahead and get this guy going here. And him, I'm thinking he'll do something with he is massive. I'm thinking he'll do something with the mushroom mechanic that we've talked about in these streams before. He'll probably be underground, and you'll encounter him there. Can we help test the demo? I'm going to. It's going to be a closed testing. I think I'm going to have specific people that I will approach personally for testing. But you won't have to wait long for it. Like, the demo is expected to be like late March sometime. Snail dude's been lifted. He's pretty big. I want to give him more of like a merchant style tunic or something. I tried to incorporate more of a gold trim into his thing, but I don't know that it works as well. Just sort of like see if we can go ahead and we're in the snow. Yeah. Well, we've got the other copy there. Just sort of like more like a robe type thing. Maybe like a tunic. We'll go ahead and tweak this a bit. Just and y'all can discuss the snail guy if you want, because I don't know really what I want to do with him. I seen a snail that stood up, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But anyhow, I don't know. Maybe some more distinct eyes on the snail. That was an issue I had, is that, like, this is his eyes. I don't know how to make it more eye-like, unless I make them bigger. Maybe that'll work, actually. It'd be difficult to, like, really. Oof. What if we, I don't know. Might have to change the color a bit. Maybe that color's not matching with it. Nita, this is the first stream you've caught. Welcome to the stream. You can do large cartoony eyes. Well, trying to make it like snail eyes, though. Because that's how the snail's eye are, if I'm not mistaken. And we can exaggerate, yes, but it's tricky. It is tricky. I'm thinking we need to change the color, though. Let me pull him down a bit. But yeah, you might not see, well, you might see him in the demo. It depends on how much of the caves I can get. Artwork-wise and stuff like that. Because I don't have any of the cave stuff. You want realistic eyes on your human-sized standing snail. I don't mean realistic. I just mean like it needs to be snail-like. You know, it has to resemble a snail. Maybe. Well, I think there's probably some shading we can play with though. I do love. I really like this guy though. I think he has a lot of potential. I think it's pretty cool. Randomly generated cave or structures? No, they're going to be hand built. The world is going to be hand built. However, I am expecting to have like the level editor open to players to use and upload their own creations that you would be able to download and play. I think that's better, in my opinion. You get more interesting levels that way. So yeah. Snail chat. Could be an echo. Let me pull it closer to me. Sometimes if the mic's too far away, I pushed it out a bit so I wouldn't be punching it the whole stream. How's that? You came in late, not too late. We ain't even started yet. We're just talking about the snail. Really slow. With the option to skip, of course. He should be rare and selling something extremely powerful. That's a really good idea, actually. I'm gonna take a note of that. By the way, I take notes during these streams, so you'll see me occasionally pop off and jot down little notes that y'all talk about. Like if y'all say something cool, I'll be making a note of it. So hey, rare. Snail is rare and sells powerful equipment. Okay. But we're not here for the snail yet. If we have time later, we can maybe fuss around with them. We are here for the friendly, well, not friendly, friendly. The forest hermit. He's going to live a little ways out of town. You'll meet him in the demo. And he's sort of like, he's a mage. Sort of lives by himself. And he offers to teach you some magic and that kind of thing. Maybe he'll work as a guide or something. So that's what we're going to do. We want Tim, I'm thinking, like, visually, like, St. Nicholas comes to mind. Like a big old man, maybe a beard, maybe a big long white hair, maybe a hat even. Like, just kind of sort of go in on that. A druid, you would think, not mage? No, I'm thinking mage. Thinking, like, proper mage. But maybe just sort of secluded. We have enough druid-like characters anyhow, but this guy specifically, he's more mage-like. He has stolen the rings of power, maybe. Let's see. He pretend to need help. We still saw this now. Oh, hopefully I don't have to push him out of the way. Let's see. Do I have? Okay, we're gonna make another layer for this guy. So yeah, like maybe once upon a time he was a more sophisticated noble mage, maybe. Friendly neighborhood snail man. A mage hoarder that carries everything he owns on his back. Not for this character, but that is an interesting idea. We'll probably have a good bit of mage characters. Magic is a pretty big part of this world, so we'll probably have some fun mage characters. The snail should sell mushroom juice or cocktails that would give you status effects like strength and speed. Could be a fun way of adding a potion mechanic. Mushroom juice just sounds funny on its own. So I'm going to have that. And I'm going to note down potion mechanic. Just as a side note, something to play with. Maybe the mage has a history with the necromancer raising the skeletons, maybe. Let's see. So let's get a silhouette going, and we'll talk about him. I have the layer. We are good to go. He is maybe a larger man. Not too large. Like, let's bring down Cheese Baron, because we probably don't. Cheese Baron's supposed to be really tall. We probably don't want him to stand taller than the Cheese Baron. Let's bring down the guard as well. He'll probably be maybe a little taller than the guard. There we go. All right. So let's get a silhouette going. I'm thinking the mage may have given the player the ability to reload saves, go back in time. That is an interesting idea, but I don't think we'd do it. But I'm going to make a note of that. It probably won't be something you see in this game, but that's a really cool mechanic that you could play around with. Just sort of save data that you can revert over time. Sort of bleed in your different save files. I think that'd be cool. Your art is great. Well, thank you. Mage could pretend to be an enemy. What do you mean pretend to be an enemy? Now, I want him to come across as friendly. And like very friendly. Hat cannon for the mage. We're probably going to have to give him a top hat by the end of this, I'm sure. Let's see. Well, you ain't going to see him too long. He's a recluse. He sticks to himself. Get the guard out a little bit more. Let's give us some breathing room. Mage teaches you how to summon monsters to fight with you. He could. I'm thinking he'll be very he's sort of instructional, maybe he enjoys teaching kind of thing. Maybe offers to teach you how to do magic. Well, that's terrible. Let me go into size setup as well. So let's go ahead and get his size set out. Now, if you remember, that's cheese. When you take away the Cheese Baron's hat, he's not really that tall, is he? Let's do it. Oops. Let's do a test right quick. Because I've been saying the Cheese Baron's massive, but I think most of that is probably just the hat. He's taller than him for sure. Teddy's short, so that's hard to say. Best friend is short. So yeah, he's pretty massive. Okay. So he can train you. He's Gandalf. No, more like I don't know how to put it. Maybe like a Gandalf. I'm thinking, I generally have more of a Saint Nick kind of vibe going from him, though. I don't know if Saint Nick was ever a teacher or anything, though. But that's sort of the, aesthetically at least. Aesthetically, I get Saint Nick vibes when I think about this guy. Very jolly. A little bit large. Almost giant-like, too. Not as, maybe even bigger. We could see as we get this silhouette worked out. Just a bit of a towering man, though. Maybe like a Hagrid. But if you mixed him up with Saint Nick. What if he was actually a giant? Though we could actually do that. We could make him a giant, possibly. Snail eyes are usually barely visible, so it's up to the artistic design whether or not you can see them or not. Right, but I think it's important for us to recognize that they're eyes so that we can sort of relate to him, if that makes sense. Whenever I had the small eyes, it was hard to understand him. Hard to get what he was about. A cute mage pet, or maybe one for the witch. Well, the witch, you're talking about Selena, she has Magnus Sorin, eater of worms. Does he like cheese? We'll have to find out. Mage could make trees come alive. He could. I also don't know. I don't know what kind of magic he does, so we could talk about that maybe. Let's see. I need to get some references going, actually. I'm actually going to pull the references up here. Normally I would pull Pinterest up and we'd search together, but I did that in the stream, my Discord stream yesterday, and there was some naughty images in there that I seen. So we're not going to do that. Let me pull up Saint Nicholas. Just find out your system, AI system. Well, thank you. How'd you learn to draw pixel art? Lots of practice. Oh, and there's Pixel Logic was a really big help for me. There's a link in the description. Yes. There's a link in the description about that. Saint Nicholas here. There's so many like realistic images of this guy that's not Saint Nicholas. When I say Saint Nicholas, I mean Santa Claus. Um, Still big and jolly, just not with the red hat and the red suit. In fact, he's probably going to wear purple because we've established that purple is a bit of a magic color in the game. Are there really expensive charms that are permanent? I haven't considered anything like that. Oh, there's terrible. I'm just going to look up Santa Claus and we'll go from there. Santa Claus. Okay. Something like this. Except for not the red suit. Like, something like that. Let me pull up my reference thing. Good. Yoink. Okay, perfect. And that'll be my reference. Alright. The mage could buff you if you buy a buff and then he sells charms. Oh, he could sell charms. Look up Page Master Wizard. Alright, I'll check that out. Page. Isn't that the movie? Trim out with the 5, whatever that is. Just a little thanks for all the tutorials and videos you put out. Keep going, you're awesome. Well, thank you, bud. That is very kind of you. Yeah, from the movie, yeah. I need to watch that. Like, I'm going to make a note of that because I've been wanting to watch that again. It's been so long since I've seen that. And I kept thinking about that movie every now and again. And I want to watch it again. So, there's another note. Let's see. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, he was more of a typical type of wizard. We could use him. I could combine the two. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's do that. What is he doing in the forest? Taking care of a whimsical animal with a bright red nose, maybe. It's $6, so thank you. You know what? If I don't give him a red-nosed pet, I'm going to make a note of that. Maybe we'll draw it this turn as well. Red-nosed pet. Maybe you can get it later on in the game. Not his specifically, maybe. A weaponized... I don't know what that is. Maybe he could give you the pet that fights for you, maybe. He should have a deer with a red nose. Not a deer. I don't want to be too on the nose about it. But maybe he gets like a little dumpy pet, like, right? That just has this big red nose. And maybe like a real derpy smile. Something like that. A walking clownfish, maybe. No, don't even have to be walking. It could be a clownfish that swims in the air. Maybe the wizard's magic keeps it afloat. and oh man, that's actually a really cool idea. Like, you get this little fish that swims around, and then he's got like a little water bubble around him that sort of animates and blobs around. Howdy. And it needs a red nose. So maybe we'll work on that in a bit. Back to this guy. A clownfish with a robot body. A snail slime could have magical properties, and he said, "Oh, snail slime is a cool thing." Yes, I'm gonna make a note of that. Snail slime. I like that. It refills your magic bar. Now, magic. The way I've been doing magic so far is a bit of an adrenaline system that gets you into the combat. Because I found that with regular mana regeneration, maybe. Well, no, I doubt y'all would like it if I removed mana regeneration altogether. Okay. Maybe we go and give this guy a big coat. Maybe. Maybe even a hood. I don't know. I kind of like that. Make it float in the floating bubble. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like this. And magic keeps it afloat. Maybe we do some kind of magical effect around it. Sort of be like, hey, this thing's floating. You know, some kind of wispy magic. Give bunny slippers. No. Oh, that seems too silly. He's a serious character after all. Okay. That's not too bad. Maybe this needs a bit of work. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking is that big coat, maybe. He'll have a big beard. Maybe not as long as the image I showed. Certainly. And when Christmas comes, instead of seeing reindeer in the air, you can see a lot of floating fishes pulling this. I don't know if we'll lean into the fishes that much. It's just a funny thought. Make the beard extremely huge. We'll see. We'll play around with different styles. What about a magic ball floating? Maybe. Now, he is more of a sophisticated wizard, but he probably hasn't practiced magic in a while, or not practiced. He hasn't really studied it or anything like that. So he's not really. I don't want him to come across as a bit of a show off. So he's not going to have too many fancy things, I don't think. What if his beard is one that's magical? A clumsy wizard. Sophisticated, he needs 2 monocles, absolutely. By the way, if you haven't noticed, our cheese baron has got two monocles because he's extra classy. What is it? Let's see. Purple robes with hood, white beard, and red boots. I don't know if red would go with purple, would it? Only if we use the triad. By the way, I switched to this little wheel thing here. Let's pull this up. It should help us pick our colors. So if we were to do that, it probably, what I think it's tetradic. No, tetradic 4. It is. There we go. So like if we went with purple as the main color, we'd probably have to go with some more along those lines. If we wanted to use red. What'd you say? A white? Oh, we could probably do that. Sneaking a bit of blue. Because actually I was thinking more of a bluish. I was thinking more closer to here. Something like that, probably. Color-wise. Also, all of your magic users are amateurs. What do you mean amateurs? I mean, like they don't get professionally paid for it? Not necessarily. Maybe. The necromancer. We'll probably have a town mage. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of mages. Magic's a really big part of the world, so there's probably gonna be a lot of mages. But yeah, we don't have like a professional mage right now. We might have to fix that before the demo to really sell the fact that this is a magical world. Maybe we have a proper mage that does something, which would be interesting to tie into Selena's story. And that, how though, it also kind of removes from it, because the idea with Selena was that she is the town mage, but she's not really great at it. Now, keep in mind, this is also meant to be a small town. This is not a city or anything like that. There is a city, not in the game, probably. Maybe as an extension or anything, or something like that. When I originally designed this story, when I was, like I've mentioned before, I designed this story when I was 12. And when I originally designed it, there was a city. Like, you started out in the town, and then you worked your way to the city. I don't think we'll get to that here. So But there is, but maybe we'll mention the city and something we can come to at another time. I have an idea for a pet. Selena by accident enchanted a stick and now it comes to life. I like the idea of an accidental enchantment, so I'm gonna say Selena accidentally enchants an item, and I'm going to put stick in parentheses. We might play with a different item, but that's really cool. City DLC, that's a possibility. Ninja. Maybe not even a DLC. It could be an extension, just like something I do after the release. But it's probably not going to be in the main release. We'll see how that goes. If the game does well enough, now don't hold me to this, but if the game does well enough that it warrants me just freely doing DLC, I would love to do that. If the game on its own. Because, I mean, I would love to just keep working on this game, to be honest. No, we're not going to do Shadow yet. Okay. I think we're going to have an issue with the legs. I think the legs might be too far forward. I always have an issue with the legs. Something like that, maybe. Might have to bring the head forward. And maybe... I don't want that. He's starting to look like a Grim Reaper. Hippie skeleton NPC that wants peace between the people and the monsters. No. Selena can have as too silly. Selena can have as his apprentice, can be his apprentice, but he doesn't like to teach and keeps pushing her away. That's why she doesn't know much. I don't know about that. Like, in fact, in the demo, I'm thinking he's gonna be like, if you want to learn some magic, you can come by and I'll show you some things, that kind of thing. Like, I think he's openly happy. Maybe he teaches Selena and she just has a hard time grasping it. Does give Santa coat and golf? Maybe. No goats? Not yet. We will probably have some goats in the proper game. Let's see now. I think we're going to work with that. That looks fine enough. Let's figure out his colors, I reckon. Well, like I said, we're going to do purple. I tend to like to do purple trims, maybe. So maybe something like this. I'm going to pull this on a different layer. Whoops. Pull this on a different layer. There. Just so I don't have to keep selecting that because that's annoying. Gold orange with purple trim. I don't want him to seem like gold orange has been used for more fancier things like pins and that kind of thing. So I don't know about that. I'm thinking more bluish, to be honest. So let's try bluish first and see where we go with that. Oops. Was it in there? Okay. Thinking maybe bluish. I don't know that we'll use it in this way. I do want the coat to be pretty open. Sort of more like a robe. I don't want the coat to appear as superior. It's just a coat. So that's going to be tricky because it already kind of looks superior. That'll be interesting to play around with. What's up? What is the NPC is working on? I'm working on the Forest Hermit. Maybe you could give him a floating book. Everybody gets floating books. The name has everyone. We have an enemy, a lich style enemy that has a floating book. I don't think we'll give him a floating book though, because that seems. It seems very arrogant. He's more of a humble type of person. go ahead and trim that out. That's not as, like, we'll probably do a much smaller trim than that, but I get the idea. Let's go ahead and get the skin tone going. Now, most of that's going to be hood. Do we keep going with that color for the hood? He can have a talking book as a pet. Talking book is funny. I don't know if we'll do it for him, but maybe something we do at some point. Talking book. That could even be a pet that you get, which would be funny. Is the hermit a sort of old man Saint Nick? Sort of inspired by Saint Nick, yes. Certainly. In fact, I've got Saint Nicholas as a reference right here. Kind of looks like Snape. Oh, the necromancer. He's sort of in that same vein, like an arrogant mage with class about him. Do you know about Patch Quest? It sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is. I gave you a reference. His name is Radagast. Radagast. Did you give me a reference on Discord? No. The dark art user, Snape. Make him very happy. This guy right here is very happy. He's a very jolly guy. That's the idea. And he's going to have I don't think we've done anyone with white hair before, so we'll have to figure that one out. If we want to use a new color, or do we go with the same old color? This will be our. No, we had the old man. Where's he at? He's not even in here. I felt like some people were missing. Oh, actually, yeah, we need to bring in a couple more people because the Derper Squirrel's not even in here. We need to go find that guy. Make the cloak red. No, I don't want to lean too much into the Santa Claus thing. We're going with, we need to have the purple. The purple is a magic color in the game. We sort of want to get that across, so he's magical. And so then we have to work our other colors around that. So let's see. If I can remember where we did that person at. Oh, that's an enemy. Let's put that in. I was looking at the Cthulhu mole. I love that thing. Is it this one? Here it is. Okay. We're going to leave the blacksmith out because she's going to get redone for sure. So old man and the squirrel. We're going to hide these layers. And we'll grab truffles too. Oops. Okay. And we'll just put these down here. Okay. Just so they're not missing. I like being able to see the whole cast of characters that we have going right now. Just want to know how much animation is going to happen today. Animation, I don't do animation in the YouTube streams. If you're interested in animation, I do sometimes do them every now and again in the Discords. But animation is far too time consuming for me to do here. So these are more, in fact, I may not even finish these sprites here. These are more for concepting and getting ideas and that kind of thing. Derp Squirrel is best squirrel. He is best squirrel. Let's see. So yeah, go back to here. Now we probably want to have it come outside of the code about. And I'm just roughing out some shapes right now. We'll worry about all the placement later. And get the eyes. Oops. How big do we want to go with this beard? might be too big. Something more like that, maybe. Massive beard? I don't think we should go too massive with that. What about a mustache, though? Two big beards are the best beards. Not for this guy. I think with the look that I want, the more rounded look, jolly, happy kind of thing. I think a big round beard will serve that better. His pet should be living in his beard. We already have that with the bird. We don't want to do that again. How about a chicken stack in a cloak that tries to fit in with the people? mm. All right. This pet could sit on his magic staff, maybe. What if he looks different every time you come across him? That would be so much work. I don't think you know how much work that would be. Let's see. Big red nose. We might actually redden his nose ever so slightly. Maybe. That might make him look drunk, though. I don't think we have a color that would fit this, but we'll maybe give him a little boop. I actually kind of like that. It's not, I don't think it's stand out enough, though. I think we go with it a little more. Hey, G, what's your real name? No. Silly. He casts his eye into the well of memory. All right. Let's do some shadow. What did I want with this color here? Stop spamming. Okay, please. You too, Pavardi. I'm a big fan of your works. Do you have any video talking about how you pick color palettes? I don't. However, I'm thinking of doing a pixel art video, like how I go about my style, and it would cover how I go about my colors and that kind of thing. You're my favorite game dev? Well, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you. So I want to I'm thinking, get a bit of curl to that. Can you make Truffles his own playpen because the villagers pick, not the player? Wait, because he's the village's pick, not the players. Yeah, I'm expecting he'll probably have his own little area. However, you might be able to get him. But like the idea is that you'll at some point probably get him as a pet. Like you can be like, "Come along, Truffles, time for adventure," that kind of thing. Like he's not your pet, but you'll be able to be like, "Come follow me, Truffles," probably. That's the idea for that. You know what? This ain't too bad. The portrait's going to help sell him better, but I think that's pretty good. Might pull that back a bit more. I think it's a little too forward. How did you move your layer menu to the right? Oh, if you go into this thing here, you can select which way to go with it. I use the right for, like, as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of layers here, and I'm not going to be doing any animation here. But if I use animation, I go this way, because you can see less of the layers, though. So just the trouble with that. So there's that. Who is your favorite character you've designed? That's a good question. Oh, let's see. uh, I would probably say Teddy. If not Teddy, then Mad Catter. Not aesthetically, but just his whole deal. Yeah. Is there a dark theme for Ace Sprite? I believe there is. However, with art, you want to work in a neutral environment. You don't want to have too dark an environment because it has a big influence on the colors that you pick. What is the Cthulhu mole? The Cthulhu mole is this guy. Santa Claus is an appropriation of Odin. Oh, that's cool. Really? From Odin we are gifted runes that are the basis of all magic. That's interesting. What if I look up Odin? That might give me a good inspiration. You should make a secret character that looks like you. Well, we have Teddy. Teddy unintentionally looks like me, and I think that's good enough. The Cthulhu mole's too cute. He is pretty cute. He's an interesting one. I hope I have time to implement him in the demo, because I think that would be really cool. What if Magic Santa Wizard Odin has a pet ferret or a rat? He's probably going to have a pet clownfish, maybe, in a bubble, in the water bubble. Let me just pull up images of Odin right quick. Oh, good. Now there's Santa Claus all over my Pinterest. Odin. Now we want more of a wizardly guy, but we can certainly use this as an inspiration. Oh, that is a creepy one. I'm not seeing anything I can use right off the bat. This is interesting, though. Let me pull up this guy. That's pretty cool. So we'll have that as well, off to the side. The old man should have a sock mace. Why would he have a sock mace? Can you explain who the Santa guy is? I've been explaining it as we go along. You just late, probably. That's what I do when I design these. I talk about the character. We've already gone over him. We're programmed to use draw pixel. I use Ace Sprite. Yeah, there's probably more information about that in the description. I don't remember if I added that or not. I think I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Maybe. Something like that. Got some banding going on, but we'll take a look at that later. I thought it was used Raven the Spy to go around the 9 rooms and other stuff. I wouldn't know. Let's see. Are you going to do shading on? Yeah. He's going to have as much shading as everybody else. A huge magic sack which acts like a water element. A kind of punching sack. White eyebrows? Yeah, probably. Anyway, we can make these cheerful. How do you make happy eyebrows? Might have to go darker. Oh, I mentioned earlier we didn't have a gray-haired guy, but we have the old cheese bear in here. A bit more of a white hair, though. That's more worried pixel art, man. Crazy stuff. I think that'll do. Alright, what if I take you And that way we can use less colors. Have anyone else joined the gym? Oh, from here, I don't know. We have like 300 people in the gym. By the way, I meant to mention, there's we're hosting a jam on our Discord at the moment. There's like 300 people that have joined, if not more. It's very beginner friendly too. Like if you've never made a game or anything like that, but you're interested in it, there's people that are helping people get started in the Discord, like how to pick your engine, what tutorials to watch, that kind of thing. I want to join jams as an artist. I think some people are looking for artists. He seems tall. That is the idea. He's a bit of a giant. A bit of a giant man. I don't know about programming for that kind of stuff. I mean, you got to start somewhere. And the game jam's as good as any. I think we're going to go thin trim around the head. And maybe a thicker trim here. If his hands are going to be hidden, if not, maybe give him a wand. I hadn't even thought about the hands. We just haven't gotten to it actually. He's not meant to be a cloak. Now that you mention it, it is meant to be more of a coat. I think that might help sell that actually a lot better. You could do darker purple for his cloak that are his hands. Under his cloak. Oh, it's not a cloak though. It's a coat. Do we want to go? I feel like that's more of a shadow color. Or do we go darker? What engine to use to make games? I'm used the Godot engine. More darkness and saturation for the color of the dark purple shadow under his cloak. That's just the silhouette color. Anytime you see this color right here, that is my silhouette in color. Just like over here. What kind of mage is he? Like what kind of magic does he focus on? I haven't decided yet. We could figure that out. He is like a more sophisticated style of mage. He's a shady guy selling mysterious bath salts to the villagers. Time for an outline? Yeah, about time for an outline. Just about. Probably go ahead and do that actually. Well, that made him look even bigger. Good. He's meant to be big. Meant to be a big guy. Storm Mage. Oh, interesting. How long have you been doing pixel art? I have been doing pixel art for about a year and a half, I think. I started around August of September of last year. Like since he has a giant gnome. Wait, he's not a gnome. He could have the power to change things' sizes. Oh, that's interesting. I think you should be a fortune teller. That might work, actually. Let's see. That might work. All right. Perhaps he is even bigger, but uses magic to appear less imposing. That's pretty good. What if he has a cloak, but like it's unlimited? Alice in Wonderland reference, I wouldn't get it. How do you select only the outline of the character? Or do you mean how I outlined that quickly? If you go here. And go here, as you can see here, I've got that. If you select the color that you want to outline with, you can go up to Edit, FX, and Outline. And do it that way. Or you can just hit Shift-O. I think I might have that to a keybind. I don't know yet. I don't know. And then you can sort of customize it however you want. What does that do? Interesting. But yeah, there's that. And there's other stuff. I don't know. Pretty useful stuff. Pretty quick too. Once you like, when I was drawing the art for the rocks yesterday, I was using that, and it was helping. It was saving a lot of time because I was doing these in 5-minute intervals to sort of speed through a bunch of them and find the best ones without having to stick too long on it, which is a very good practice. I would highly suggest for drawing and stuff. So yeah, that's a very quick trick for doing that as well. Okay. His arms look a little weird to me. How many games have you published? This will be my first one. How old is he? We talking ancient? I don't know. I haven't determined. What game engine would you suggest for new game devs? I personally would suggest trying a bunch of different ones and finding which ones you like. But the ones that I would try, Godot's a really good one for beginners, in my opinion. It's to the point and easy to understand. A lot of people seem to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be so bad. The other one would be Game Maker, but I think they went on like a trial version. It used to be like you could get it indefinitely for free, but now it costs. And it's not a cheap thing either. This is terrible. What programming language is the game coded and it's used in Godot? May I ask what's the difference between GDScript and Python? I'm not too big on Python. Appreciate your videos, mate. Web dev here, looking to do game development as a hobby. Nice, good to hear. He should make enemies go away. What if he had floating mage hands that he used to interact with things? Could do that. I'll make a note of that. That could be a thing in general. That was something I really liked about, what was it, Golden Sun. Golden Sun had like the interactable hands. I thought was pretty cool. Interactable magic hands. Like he so hallucinates them like nobody else sees them. Okay, let's get a boot going because the cloak's looking a little weird. Let's get some clothing going. What does he wear under his robes? I don't like the shape of these robes, by the way, but we'll figure that out a little bit. A belt? We could do with the belt, sure. Maybe a big belt, actually. Who else has a belt? You have a belt. trap that. Maybe he has a good big build. A little buckle as well. Yeah, just about with a nice buckle should be enough, yeah. He's getting fat. Well, that's sort of the idea. He's he's a big man. He's probably not as like he looks a little stuffy, a little stiff, and I think it might be his arms. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. How about a charm? Oh. Do the NPCs have routines? Not currently. I would like to implement that, but I'm not sure exactly how I'd go about it. But that's not going to be something I worry about for a long time. In the demo, they're just going to have... They're probably not even going to do anything but wander around, maybe. But yeah. Man just got here and don't know the backstory of the character, but you could give him a stick and a raven. Oof, this got spent by a bunch. Would be cool, in your opinion. I don't think it fit his character. He's meant to be like extremely nice, like you just a lovable character, and very friendly. And I don't want to give that impression. I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. What if I... Maybe. Maybe we bring it out a bit more as well. Exposed bicep with the awesome tattoo. Let's see. He must be related to Teddy then? No. You talking about the nice thing? No. He's just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. Not everybody that's nice he needs to have anything to do with Teddy. I just happen to like nice people. Actually. What if I do this? I think that gives it better depth. Oh, also I need to remove this. What are you? Ah, crap. Boom. Okay. Need to get rid of this. I think we're going to keep that out of there. Can you make a plague doctor as one of the NPCs? Wouldn't really fit. Can you add a mechanic where you... No. He should tame squirrels like he needs them to be close to him. I don't think we're going to have him interact with squirrels that way. Getting more views now. How many? 324. That's a new record for us. We're not giving him a tattoo either. I was thinking he could be a conjurer that could summon mythical creatures, but I'm not sure how that would work with him being a friendly character that wouldn't attack the player. He could... with the AI system, and that's something I teased about in the last devlog, is that he... Well, not he, but... NPCs can fight each other. And that's what the next devlog is going to be about, is the enemy faction system that I've been working on. That will allow things, which I'll show off, by the way, since we got enough people here. Actually, it may not work. I may have broken the enemies. We'll have to see. But, you can summon your own skelly that'll fight with you. But yeah, I've got damage turned off, so you're not going to see them damage each other. But normally they'd be able to damage each other. And it's really cool if you get, I don't know if I think they'll fight each other is another thing that's broken right now. Yeah, they're targeting each other. And that's because my bit masking is off. I'm using a bit mask to store their factions. And I adjusted it a little bit, and so now they're targeting each other. I could probably fix that right now, though. Because see, their bit mask was shifted ever so slightly, and they were starting to attack each other. That might be why they couldn't hit each other as well. Oops. Nope. Still a thing. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, that's the idea. And so he could get into combat and maybe summon some mythical creatures. That's a possibility. Is Godot good at random generation? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you make a guy with a bear skin for a hat? Maybe he's a Paul Bearer fanboy. Maybe. I'm going to add that as a thing. And maybe, like, not specifically a Paul Bearer, but maybe there's, like, a mythical bear that was seen out and about. Red shirt with yellow. Are we talking about with the guy? Let's see here. Let's look at these colors here. I don't think it'd work. And plus, I'm wanting to save red for the more warrior style characters. So yeah. So not red. More your purples and blues. Maybe let's give him some brown, maybe. The belt gets a little hard to see. Yeah, it does. That's a good point. Okay. Maybe we'll do. I don't know. Maybe we go back to using that dark color. We use it in pants a lot. We'll worry about the shaping and stuff later. Just sort of figuring out the colors. Maybe we do that. Maybe let's try a red. More of like a purplish red. What's that? I don't think that fits. Magenta shirt. I think magenta would be too saturated for under the shirt. What about this? I think that's the color I'm using there. I've also given him a more of a brighter color here. Isn't magenta always too saturated? Yeah, but it's difficult. I don't know. I think it'd look weird under the coat. We can try it though. Maybe if we desaturate it a bit. I don't think it's working either. A cane or walking stick would look sweet in his right hand. Maybe. That's a good idea. This guy has one. Let's just take this though. Maybe. He said in his right hand. I'm gonna do this on another layer. Oops. Come on now. Oh goody. I sometimes I get clumsy with a sprite. Make a friendly sprout that has to come out of the earth. What if you lived in a giant snail shell? I'll add that as a note. The snail or the old man? Have you seen the snail? I imagine that's why you're suggesting it. Maybe. Actually, that might work. That could be interesting. Can you add a fishing mechanic for food and health? I've talked about a fishing mechanic a few times. I'm not too keen on the concept. I hate fishing in games. It's such a passive thing. Like you cast your rod out and you wait, and that's valuable game time that could be spent doing fun things, you know. But as alternatively, something we've talked about is sort of streamlining that. Instead of having like a fishing rod, you could have like a harpoon or a net. And as you're walking around and you see a shadow in the water, you could throw your harpoon or net at it. Something like that, maybe. When you're doing your art, like sort of like imagine the aiming mechanic with that as well. Some people like fishing in games. I get that. Some people do, but it's just not the type of game that I'm trying to do. Okay, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a drag on gameplay. But I would like to do it, just probably in a different way. Like, I'm doing this. Give him a giant lollipop instead of a usual wizard stuff? No, it's too silly. Will there be water traversal in some form? Possibly. Possibly. I even have a card for a beaver pet that you could ride on to cross water and stuff. That is, I don't know how far we'll go with that, but that's an interesting idea, I think. Bring his arm down a little bit. Does he have a name? He does not have a name now. Oh, I feel like he needs a little bit of shadow on his arms. Yeah, well, we haven't gotten to the arms yet. I'm still worrying about the coat right now. And what was I doing, actually? There was a specific thing I was after. I think one thing I want to do is sort of trim that up a bit, maybe. I don't know. He does look a little less stiff. Still a bit too stiff, though. All right, there's a staff. We want to try and get a staff going. What kind of staff do we want? If you add rideable pets, would it be similar to the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, having to find and swap out different rideable pets to get combat? We have talked about rideable pets, and there's a design issue with it, in that, well, maybe we could have to where you can't attack on the pet. That would be an option. The issue that we had was sort of like, it would be cool to be able to attack on the pet, is what we was talking about, but having to implement that, would be tricky. Like you could just ride the pet all the time, and I wouldn't want that. I'd want you to walk around sometimes. So I don't know. It's something I'm currently considering. What about fishing? I think more options wouldn't hurt game. Like there's gonna be so many options in this game. That's sort of the the issue is like it's a high scope game with a lot of options, and that's sort of the name of the game. Like there is a very varied play style that you can sort of play how you want, kind of thing. I just don't think fishing really fits into that. At least not with the rod. Maybe move his head right one down. De-stiffen him maybe. Let's see. Maybe that gives him a bit of a hunchback, but maybe. Looks like he really needs that cane now. Maybe like a staff of the gym or something on top. Maybe. Oh, by the way, I don't think it's out here. I must have hidden it. I made a staff for the necromancer as well. So he has a little staffy thing. Maybe you would be able to ride a fish in order to catch him, like the style cartoons. What is noodling? Asked, probably somebody mentioned it. I was thinking of noodling as well, like not noodling per se, but like maybe you run up to it and catch the fish, like Dragon's Dogma, like you could run into the water and gather fish, that kind of thing. Staff with a water globe on top, like the other one with the fish in it, maybe. Okay, maybe. I think I'm going to lean more towards fortune telling as his power. We could play with that. The water thing is interesting, but I don't want it to feel like he's a water mage. While we think, I'm going to get some shading going. And we'll get this arm shaded a bit. That looks a little weird though. Okay. Let's see. Zoe, I'm pretty sure is the name. It's a roguelike. No. Wait. No, it's not a roguelike. It's an RPG. Think of like Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls kind of thing. Or even like the old RPGs. It's sort of inspired by the old RPGs as well, like the Final Fantasy Star Ocean kind of thing. It's an RPG with action combat. But more sim-like in nature. Like you'll have a character and your character lives in the world. Your character interacts with the world, that kind of thing. Morrowind, yeah. Morrowind is a big inspiration for this. Like, well, I say that. I've mentioned this in a previous stream. Morrowind is very similar to this in a way, kind of ways. This is more casual, like if Stardew Valley met Morrowind, but without farming and all that stuff. Just sort of the casualness about it. But I designed this game, not this game. Well, I designed the story when I was younger, like 12 or so. It turned into a game that I wanted to make, and when Morrowind came out, when I first played it, I was like, this is really close to what my dream game was. So it's very much in the vein of Morrowind, if that makes sense. What layer am I even on? But yeah, that's the general idea for that. Okay. Morrowind was amazing. Morrowind was amazing. And so yeah. Where are you? That is weird. Oh, I bet I'm doing a different layer here. Yeah. Alright, back to the staff, actually. I keep forgetting about this staff. We need something. We said he probably going to be a fortune teller. What if he had a magic mirror that he looked in to see the future? Interesting. Maybe. I'm going to make that a note. Crystal ball is the typical choice. It is typical. I don't think I want to go too. I don't want to get into that cliche. Nothing wrong with cliches. I just think that's too on the nose. It would be good shorthand. It would get the point across, and maybe we might need to quickly get across the fact that he's a fortune teller. But maybe there's other ways to do it. Magic 8 ball. Too silly. How did you learn to use Godot? I had trouble staying motivated and on task. I learned by binge watching Kids Can Code videos. Fantastic creator. I watched his entire Know Your Node series, which was the big one for me. Like it helped me understand what the nodes do and that kind of thing. Hi, I'm new here. Welcome to the stream. How big is the world map, and can you run into it to the end easily? Now, the world map is not going to be massive. At least not like, we'll have to see. Because it is just me developing this game. Like, and I understand that I do have my limits and I can't make a big, massive world. But I do want to have a fair size. Like, I want it to be good and you know, I want you to be able to explore a lot of things. Exploration is a big part of this. I want you to be able to run into caves and get the loot from there and use that to, you know, up your game. That kind of thing. And remember, all kinds of different dungeons. One thing, like I want to have good, varied dungeons instead of the way that... I don't remember much about Morrowind's dungeons. It's been a very long time since I played it, but I know, like, Oblivion and Skyrim, they're all very the same. Like, if you played one dungeon, you've played most of them. And I want to try to avoid that. I want to have at least most of them be sort of, not unique, but, like, different styles. Like, you can maybe change up certain things about it to sort of make them different, kind of thing. Hopefully. This will be my first time doing anything on this scale, though. So, anything that I say, very much subject to change. Will you add spells, items to interact with the world? For example, unlocking secret hidden caves, something like that. Sure. Yeah, more than likely. I would love, like, magic's going to be a big part of this, especially the magic playthroughs. Like, they're probably going to be more fun than anything. There's going to be a lot of magic stuff. And I would like for that to be part of it, yes. How are we doing here? We are doing fantastic. What if the fortune teller wizard Santa can occasionally break the fourth wall? Mad Catter is probably going to break the fourth wall, and I think that's all we need in that regard for fourth wall breaking. He might break the fourth wall. We'll have to, like, what I mean by that is he's the type of character that would break the fourth wall. So, but not this guy here. He's too common. Not common. Too normal. Too normal to break the fourth wall. What do y'all think of that? It still needs some touching up. The coat feels... Maybe that helped a lot. It feels like it's missing just one element. What? Oh, you're right. Staff. God dang it. All right. What are we going to do with the staff? We also need to finish his shirt. We might give him a pendant. It doesn't look like he's holding the staff with his hand. The staff, I'm just trying to figure out the design for it. Like, I'd have to draw it under the hand and everything. We can move it around afterwards. I just want the design for it. In fact, it's thrown on top of the hand. Maybe not. I mean, like... Yeah, it's a little bit even on the top of the hand. It's not going to look like it's in the hand just yet. We're just trying to figure out what we want with it. Quit spamming Gabriel. A clock staff. Interesting. That would be difficult to do in such a small thing. Howdy, Ivan. Welcome to the stream. But, well, not well. I don't know how long you've been here. Hourglass. Oh, let's try that. I mean, that's silly, but let's try it. I want something more standard, though. I'll tell you what we're going to do with this stuff. We got how... Oh, no. Let me cut that out. Actually, I don't think we need that one. Oops. Cut that out. Move it back here. Okay. Try that right quick, and then we'll take a look at this hourglass stuff. Maybe not an hourglass. It does feel a little too corny. But it is something we can take a quick look at. Don't do that. Okay. How's it going? It's going pretty good. He predicts time but doesn't want to cause... He thinks he is making the future, not predicting it, and he might make something bad. Maybe. You should have 100k subs or higher. I mean, it's getting up there. I've gained about 15,000 subs in the past month. So that's not, I'm pretty happy with the growth. I like the idea you can put a big ring on top of the staff with the hourglass suspended in the ring. Oh, that's actually really cool. That's okay. I like that. That lessens the corniness. I'm just going to silhouette this out. Same going to be the color. What if you do a ball of fire that he looks into the future? That doesn't make sense, I don't think. Do you design it based off of the biblically accurate... I don't know what that is. What are you drawing? I am drawing the... this guy over here. The hermit. The forest hermit. Make the fire magenta. A magnifying staff. I can dig with that. Oh, it's not a magnifying glass. It's a magnifying staff. It's a hourglass. Made it to the stream. Welcome to call it. I think we might just be about to call it, though. I'm not sure. How far are we in? About an hour and a half. Yeah, we'll probably touch up a few things then. Time Wizard. We will. I have been. I have a card for time magic. The player might even be able to engage with it. Time's tricky, but it is something to consider. And yes, a time wizard would be good. I don't know what he could do. What would a time wizard do as an NPC? But I think a time wizard for the player should be fun. A time stop spell. See, there's a trouble with that, though. It's hard to stop time for certain things in Godot. Like, it's not a built-in thing. It would be something that I would have to implement myself. Probably through the source code to be easier. But it's not something I really want to dig into right now. Take time off your speed run. I don't think that's how speedruns work. That would. I wonder if you could do a speed run like that and have that be legit. If that would. I don't know. I don't know anything about the speedrunning community, but that would be funny. It's probably more of a score thing at that point, though. He could stop during the dialogue section, stop time during dialogue sections. I think that already happens. I don't know. Now, this doesn't really make sense for him to have the hourglass if he's not a time, because he's not a time wizard, he's a fortune teller. That was the reason we did the time. Okay, that was the reason we did the time. And it might, the hourglass might make it seem like he controls time. So that would be confusing. So we might not do it with this guy. But if we ever make a time wizard, this would be, yeah. He freeze time spell just to pause the game. Maybe able to slow down enemy behaviors. Maybe. You'd want to slow down their animations, and you could do it with the animation player. You could tell it to set the speed for it, or whatever. If you're the fortune teller, I agree with the dice idea. Why would that be? Agree with the dice idea? Can there be a pet named Muffin? Maybe. Ouija stuff. His first fortune doesn't work. Well, I mean, he's an old wizard. Probably. Anyhow. I don't know. Muffin the little dog. We might can do something, because Muffin is a pretty cute name. Is Muffin like a pet you have or something? What memes are there in the game? There's not going to be any memes other than any in-jokes that we have within the community. Not too big on memes myself. Besides, you don't want to put memes in your games. The memes die really quickly. Putting memes in your games is just a waste of time, and it does not age at all. It's a good way to make your game age poorly. You had a pet named Muffin? I've never had a pet named Muffin. I've had a few, but not Muffin. Let's see. Oh, meant it as comedy and jokes. There's probably gonna be some humor. I don't know exactly what, but that's, you know me. I make jokes. What are you using for checking obstacles in the context and steering, like raycast or what? I've been playing around with that. Right now I'm using test move in Godot because it's works. I like it's reliable, but it's not the most efficient. I've tried raycasting on various different ways. Even another one recently where I tried splitting it off, and it worked. It worked for me, having the raycast split off and like for each direction, checking it that way. But when I built the project for the Patreons, so that they could get the source code for it, it didn't work there, and so I switched it back to test moving. So, can you make a note that the guy has never been surprised by surprise birthday parties? I think there's a lot of potential for fun for that. Like, the town keeps trying to surprise him or something, and he acts like he's surprised. The final boss has a final stage that is extremely fast, but it is a one hit, like a glass cannon. I don't know. It's not really in the vein of the game. The game is not meant to be a really challenging game. It's a chilled, laid back type of game. It really wouldn't fit. It's fragile speedster. Wizard is an old man older than time itself, and is the reason time passes. That's an interesting concept, actually. Something to play around with, for sure. Because that could be an interesting thing for the story-wise. Jeez. Why is Purple Man so buff? He's not buff. he's big. He's like a giant, kind of. Do you have a boss that you befriend? Oh, excuse me. Do you have a boss that you befriend and becomes part of the village? I don't, but that's an interesting idea. I had an idea for something like that. It wasn't really that exactly, though. It's a little different. I don't know if I'll implement that one, though. Boss once defeated joins town. Actually, that's a good point. He's not meant to have short sleeves, which is probably why he looks so buff. Or not. He's not meant to be a tank top. I just sort of did that to define his arms. So we should probably go ahead and fix that before I forget. Because I'd guaranteed I'd forget and it'd be in the game. And that'd be funny. Maybe a longer. How long do we gonna go with this? We'll probably do a little trim as well. Maybe. I might bring this up a hair. I'm on the staff layer again. Layers, man. They are annoying. Oops. I don't like that, but I'll worry with it later. You think it's just fortune cookies? Maybe not fortune cookies as we know them, but maybe he sells cookies that has to do with something like actual cookies that does something with fortune. Or gives them away. That's a pretty funny joke. Like luck cookies. Maybe. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Luck being like a prediction type thing. Like instinctive prediction. I don't know for that as well. Like luck is like it's like a subconscious prediction type thing. And maybe the reason he's able to use time, or not time, but read the future, is that he sort of tapped into that. Yeah. Luck is subconscious fortune telling. That's all right. I think if you eat too many cookies, the boogeyman should appear and steal all your consumables. No, I hate when games steal your consumables. Like Ark. Worst part of that game is those sneaky thief crick things. It's the worst. Like how they eat a whole thing of narcotics and they just laugh about it. Anyhow. How about an eye with an hourglass-shaped pupil? An eye staff. I'm going to put down an eye staff for something else. Eye staff would be too creepy for this guy. But an eye staff would be interesting for something else, like a big giant eye. Especially if I bring in the eyeballs from Brave the Dark Mage, the jam game I did for Kindred Gem. That could be an interesting thing to play into. But a crystal cube instead of a ball. You know what? Well, we'll instead of a cube, we could probably bump it up a bit. Like, I don't know what any of the shapes or anything, but like a bigger shape or whatever. What about tarot cards? Like he shifts from hand to hand? Maybe. I'm gonna make a note of that. Tarot cards. How's that spelled? Tarot. Well, I kind of want it to be a staff though. So staff idea. So the chat goes by pretty quick. I can only see like a fraction of it when I'm doing these streams. I try to read what I can, but it goes by pretty quick. Totem staff. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up definitions for like get a thesaurus. Oof, thesaurus. Thesaurus out for time. Oh, maybe we can get some ideas going. Nothing. Trouble with the thesaurus though is just no. You never get any ideas from it. I don't know. Nothing that rings a bell. The lightning staff, because why not? He's not a lightning character. You like your fire staff idea, but I suppose it's cliched. It's not cliched. It just doesn't fit the character. It would be good for a fire character, but I mean, he's a friendly fortune teller. Fire is usually intense. You know, you would use that for something more powerful. Well, not powerful, but more aggressive. A time staff. We definitely need to make a time joke. Oh man, I don't know if maybe he carries around a time twig. I don't want to draw that right now, but that's really good. Maybe he has a garden of time outside his house or something like that. Rosemary time. What about the stuff? Oh no, that would be too much like Flavor Flav. I was thinking about like a clock on his chest. Let's see. What about a stopwatch in the center of the staff circle? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to call it for now though, because I'm getting a little stumped. Take a break, clear my head, maybe come back to this later. But I'm really happy with this guy. He's very friendly looking. He's about what I imagined him. I need to tweak the clothes a bit more, I think. I imagine it as a little more scholarly, which is kind of there, but not quite. So I'm going to be tweaking that over time. Maybe his house has a bunch of books and stuff like that. I probably should have mentioned that earlier because I didn't know, like, it was like sort of a lack of a word for it. Like he's a bit scholarly, but also like this friendly Santa Claus. Time bubbles at a sports space. Interesting. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I thank y'all for watching. I didn't get as much as I wanted to do, but you know, we needed to get him done because No, we have to. We need to. It's been what? It's been about 2 hours now, 3 hours, an hour and 45. That's usually around where I call it. Appreciate y'all for coming by though. Y'all take it easy.